Yeah, into me. Yeah, hey, all that designer no do you no justice. You one of a kind. Seen you like twice, but
Yes, yes. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. Thanks for joining us today. Good evening, wherever you may be. Good morning, good afternoon, whichever part of the world that you may be. Thank you for joining us today. You're welcome. You're welcome to the Movement Radio. This is the alternative radio station determined to create and free the minds of the Africans. Welcome, welcome. The Movement Radio. Welcome, welcome. Uh, the the Movement Radio is preparing itself to start its launch on March 1st with a team that is called March 1st for Freedom. However, as part of our preparation for that launch, we want to once in a while come in, particularly when there's an heavy load of news items to be covered within the Nigerian scene. Come in, talk a little bit about few events that are happening and run things through. Well, we don't do news. We don't do news, but we sure do headlines. And when we do headlines, we give you the bottom line. That's the way it's gonna be. Right now, the headline is that Nigerian former president Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida is launching a book, what he calls a tell-all book, but the book in itself, it's a tell nothing. There have been various comments and critics regarding the books, but that's not our major concern here at the Movement Radio. Our major concern will be the reaction of the so-called Nigerian intellectuals to the garbage they've been fed. That's why we're here to analyze, to check, to compare notes, and to talk about how the Nigerian intellectuals are going to be talking about this release of a book by IBB, the Nigerian Maradona, because of his tricky style in politics. It's funny that when all the Nigerian leaders all gathered all together, it was a collection of the major ruiners of Nigeria. Everybody that matters to the destruction of that country was there. From Tinubu himself, all the way to Gowon, all to all the ones that are still alive among those that have ruined our great nation. But we are here to talk about these things, and I will be posting a link in a few minutes. But first, I'm going to ramble through a few monologue. We at the Movement Radio have always believed that the Nigerian problem is not a problem of the bad rulers we have, but the inaction of the elite, the inaction of the educated ones among us. And we are going to follow this pattern through as we go through in our presentation. The Movement Radio is dedicated to make turn sheeps into lion, to make radicals out of non-reactors, and to make people to be more reactant to their civic duties as citizens. I want to thank Olumide Akinwumi. I see you there. Omoye's Corner, I see you. And Kunle Kuku, I see you also. And thanks for joining us. You know, the great people that are out there listening to us. There are other things that's been in the news. The issue of USAID stopping aid to African government, and most of the Nigerian commentators have been reacting to that also. Most of these commentators been reacting to this also because U.S. aid, according to Perry, one of the U.S. senators, has disclosed that the aid is being used to sponsor terrorists. This is a fact that has been known in Nigeria for years. This is not new. Those in government are the ones sponsoring this terrorism in their country, and several citizens have died as a result of this involvement. Nigeria's big problem are its rulers and its elites, its educated people, the ones with the PhDs, the ones that have letters in front of their name. And our radio station is determined to tackle this problem. Every time you go on space, you go on Twitter, you go on any of these social internet medium, you hear Nigerians talking, but usually the topics being discussed are usually not relevant to the pain of their people. They're very good at analyzing other people's problem, but they have their head in the sand like an ostrich regarding their own problem, and they act as if they are not capable of solving basic problem. I don't know whether this is an act of cowardice or this is an act of weakness, but whatever it is, we plan to use the truth to kick this out of them. Let's talk a little bit about our launch. We're going to be launching on March 1st. We are planning to bring you Dele Farotimi as our first guest and Mayegun Omobadero of the Mayegun Diary Political. Well, we are trying to line up big top-notch guests. Also, we have someone we want to line up from Nigerians Nollywood to come tell us about theaters and movies in Nigeria. We have someone in the Nigerian education system who's going to come in tell us about what the state of education is in the country. We have a long list and long lineup of guests that will be unveiling to you gradually. Um, Mostly when you see us on YouTube, we are basically not playing you the real Nigerian music. We're playing you generic Nigerian music. You want to listen and hear us clearly, you got to go to the radio station that gives it all, themovementradio.com, or you go to the Movement Public Radio.com. You get all the best you can get from our radio station there. Well, what makes us come to talk today? Several things has been happening in the news, from Nigerian royalty being arrested for stealing or being involved in what's it called, in the frauds that they perpetrated during the COVID era. Royalty from somewhere in the western part of Nigeria. But that doesn't much strike our interest as much as the elites. Those are the ones we're here to talk about. So, what's been happening generally? Well, the one and only. Only in Nigeria will they take a dead body, bring it out, and try to rebrand it. Only in Nigeria will they take a pig and pour perfume on a pig with the hope that the pig will smell good. This is what's been happening. Babangida came, he said he finally admitted what we've known for 32 years, that Abiola won the election. And most Nigerians been reacting, rightfully so. But the reaction also has been lopsided. What do I mean by that? Some are reacting, see the injury that was done to Abiola and his family. Nigerians sometimes don't realize that they are victims in what their leaders are doing to them. They can't just realize this fact. It's it's tough for them to understand that the damage Babangida did was not just only to the Abiola family, but to several generations of Nigerians, from those that have to leave the country for better life, from the vast money that was wasted on the election, to those that cannot meet their family members anymore, to various educated and intellectual soldiers that were killed during his era, to the death of Delegiwa The damage is not just to the Abiola family, the damage is huge. And when they commit this crime, the crime are usually, they go way beyond just a family and individual. They are generational crime. And I was listening to one of the online shows, and somebody was saying, well, at least he confessed, so he has forgiven him. I'm like, oh my God, how do we have such short memories? How do we keep repeating the same thing? If you look at the room of those that gathered, even from their speeches, from the lies they were spilling out on the microphone, you look at each of their face, you can tell the difference. A Tinubu is totally not different from a Babangida, neither is a Babangida different from a Gowon. And the lies that they've kept covered for years is beginning to come out, and it will come out. And the Nigerian people will know the truth. This we continue to bring you what we can and the best of stuffs that we have in stock for you. Nigeria is a country that if they explain it to you and you understand it, then they have not explained it properly to you. It's a country that defies logic. It's a country that turns men into zombies. It's a country that destroys hope. It's a country that belittles the black man. And we are here to start to change those views, those positions, those ideas. We begin to change them. Well, I've always said, somebody wrote that if you stay alive long enough in Nigeria, you will see the devil exhumed from the grave and deodorized by Nigerians. That's exactly what that presentation of that IBB's book launch is. Indeed, they have exhumed the devil from the grave and they pour perfume on it, deodorize it. And Nigerians are clapping. Not Nigerians, though, it's the ruiners that were clapping to every ridiculous statement that was coming out of the launchers, IBB, and his guests. Let us look at those who were there. Well, we know IBB himself was there. He is the one who came to launch the book. The book launch presented a perfect platform for such occasion. OBJ was there, of course, taking note for his next book or his next letter, whatever it is OBJ writes. Is one of the major ruiners of Nigeria, the OBJ meaning Obasanjo. Of course, good luck. Jonathan too was there. Yeah, that one too was in the news this week. Jonathan. That's the president we had that said corruption is not stealing. And a lot of people who love him, you know, in Nigeria, they love their thieves. My thief is better than yours has always been the Nigerian argument. Yes, my thief is far better than yours, and they will stand beside their thief and defend their thief. They will cuss you out at their thief. They will insult you. Yeah, GED was there representing. He looking clueless as ever. He was neither here nor there as usual. He was talking about building a presidential library. The copycat politics still continues. I'll talk about GED, Good Luck Jonathan, a little bit. Is the fact that USAID cancelled funding to developing countries put GED on the spotlight. A lot of his supporters were on social media talking about how they knew the US helped the Tinubus and what's the other one's name? The Buharis to get rid of Jonathan because they gave money and fund. I'm like, here they go again. Our intellectual bankruptcy, arguing on behalf of somebody who was grossly incompetent. Even his foreign minister, what's his name, Professor Akinjide or whatever that guy's name, came on Arise to talk about how they knew that white people were landing in helicopters in those villages, but they thought it was the French. His exact word was that, yeah, that's Professor Bolaji Akinyemi. Sorry, I called his name wrong. They thought it was the French. They made an assumption that it was the French due to the French presidents. I mean, what kind of an intelligence body would make an assumption on an issue as serious as national security? But that's Nigeria for you, where the mad are in charge, where they give stage to the sick and the insane. Yeah, Julia, somebody on social media was saying, well, they didn't like good luck. That's why they gave them money. Well, US don't care about no good luck, no Buhari, or no Jonathan, or any of your president. Any country, developed or undeveloped, will pursue his interest. And whatever they have to do to push their interest, they will do it. And those of you who are still into that tribal politics or regional politics, not region, it's not even regional, identity politics, my thief is better than yours politics. You better wake up. Your good luck was grossly incompetent. He ought to have been removed. It was under him that almost 300 girls were kidnapped from their schools. 300 up to now. Some of them have never been found. Some of them were married away to terrorists. It was under his watch. Such a person don't deserve nobody's sympathy. And whether they're being funded by USAID. And he himself came out openly, publicly to say, well, I know some of the sponsors of these terrorists are in my government. What a weak person would say that. You know the terrorists that are killing people in your country are in your government, and you're the head of the government, and you couldn't do anything to stop it. But Nigerians, they will still develop, they will defend their thieves. They love to defend their thieves, particularly the intellectuals. They will come and speak big, big English, speak grammar as if they know what they're doing, but they don't. You know, it's a terrible sin. If somebody can explain that country to you, oh my God, and you understand it, or you can comprehend it, or you can you can breathe it down your throat on what exactly they are. Oh my God, you don't know. It's not possible. It's just. But I don't have problem with the Nigerian ruiners, the bad leaders, the one that gathered for Babangida's book launch. The ones I have problems are the elite, the Nigerians that are lettered, that have a bachelor's, that have a master's, that have a PhD, that are living in the white man's land, but yet will find a lot of grammatical verbiage to describe or present the madness that they call a country. Those are the ones I have issues with, and those are the ones I want to take down. Because you take down the cheerleaders, the team will crumble, the main team will crumble, because they are the cheerleaders, they are the real danger. There's so many of them out there. Anyway, let's go back to the list of those that were at that crazy gathering of the ruiners of the country. You also have, what's his name? Apart from GED, Gowan too was there. As usual, he dwelt on inanities. He eulogized IBB for restoring his rank, yet, unlike IBB, is not bold enough to write his own book. Perhaps Gowan is also waiting for his contemporaries to die before lying over their graves, like IBB did. Tried to blame the annulment of June 12 on Abacha. Abacha is in the grave now, he can't speak for himself. These are soldiers of fortune. They are all criminals in a sane society. All of them should be in jail. They should be locked up. They should not be called elder statesmen. They are a shame to themselves, to their children, to their generation, to the black race. In a sane society, these men that are in their 90s, 80s, they should be in jail. But this is Niger. Anything goes. Anything goes. Of course, Bobo Chicago himself too, the drug baron himself too was there. He claimed to fight for democracy, but the current face of tyranny and evil and undemocratic practices was also there. He didn't even talk about all the crazy arrests he makes left and right of people that criticize his government. These are the mad people that have gathered to rule Nigeria. People of wisdom have told Nigerians, do not die in their war. You see, as they all gathered from east, west, north, south, from every tribe, there was no difference among them. They were all the same. They were all the same from one tribe, the tribe of thieves, the tribes of Jaguda, the tribes of Bajwe, the tribes of fortune soldiers. They are not from different tribes. You see how they all gather together and eulogize each other after they have stolen your common hegemony, and you will be here on social media defending Goodluck, defending the Obi, defending Tinubu, defending this. Obasanjo was better than this. Gowon was better than that. And a fella know all of them pass. He just don't describe them finish. These are also, apart from those that were for your former head of state, there were people there also who betrayed Abiola. They were all gathered there also. Those who urged him to go to Golgotha, where they're shining and their rotting teeth in the glistering light. The picture represents the perfect problem of Nigeria. The picture of the gathering. I don't even want to show it. I don't think anybody should show it. It's such a shame to the existence of the black race that we should be showing such things. But we got to give a monologue on it because it represents our society. As we talk about this, we will talk more about our own launching, March 1st for Freedom. We will test our our gadgets out, make sure they're working properly. And then people will be able to call in, talk, and we could discuss. I will post a link for those who are listening. If they want to join the discussion, they can. In a few minutes, I will post the list. Just want to go through a few things before posting a link. Now, these were the men who contributed to the ruination of that country. Nobody had bad word to say about IBB because all of them are hypocrites. I noticed one thing when IBB was reading the list of the people who had helped him in his career. There were so many professors there. He was going on and on about Professor this, Professor that, Doctor this, Doctor that, Doctor this. It still goes back to the point. And fella made the same point 40, 45 years ago, 50 years ago. Now the man, which man, we rule our land, oh yes, he talk Oyibo, passing English, man. If you've never heard that album, go listen to it. Yes, he talk Oyibo, pass American, man. He talk Oyibo, pass English, man. The Nigerian problem are its elite. The Nigerian problem are the educated people. The Nigerian problem are those that have letters in front of their name. The Nigerian problem are those that went through the walls of school. They are those that had free education, but yet deny education to generation that came after them. There were those like one man I lambasted the last time I spoke, one guy called Tony or whatever his name is. There are so many of them out there also. Most of them are depraved. You know how people escape from a mental asylum and then they have a microphone and start talking. And then they have cheerleaders. There's one group, I never go there. But this week, I just said, let me go a little bit and see. And that is the depraved group that call themselves One Man to Mo. Those ones, they want to sound so intellectual. That man with his rotten teeth and broken teeth called One Man to Mo, no real name. Probably never had a name in his family. Will come out there, put out lies, put out poison. And he has cheerleaders. He also had one old man they call Baba. No real name. If I know his real name, I'll blast it out. They don't show their face actually for you to actually see. They really don't. There's another one called Baba. They call him Baba. He likes to talk eloquently and fluently. He probably in his 60s, 70s, or 80s. I don't know. I don't know him. But he likes to confer a sense of respect. But every garbage that comes out of his mouth is bullshit, is shit, is trash. Those people, they are a shame to the black race. One man to more, the one they call Baba. Oh, there's another one. What's his name? I can't even remember. Is it Canary or whatever? But if I that one, he goes on every medium, covers his face, throws out crazy numbers like the one they did last week, saying that the inflation rate went down by 24%. Oh, I want to tell you a little bit about that. The inflation rate going down by 24%. That article was written, usually articles of garbage like that are usually written by Bloomberg and Reuters. And you check the names of those that are read. It's like when you have a house Negro, they will have one black man, one or two black men with very, very low mentality. And that article will be over. There will be an oversight by a white person. Anytime Bloomberg or Reuters, let me show my face so people know I'm not kidding about this and they're serious. Anytime you read an article about Nigeria from Bloomberg or Reuters, stay away from such articles because they're pure garbage. They're pure garbage. Yeah, they said there was a 24%. I wish I could pull up the article. We don't do news here. We just give you the bottom line. There is 24% inflation rate being lowered. All lies. The woman buying yam at the market still buys it 1,000 times the price they bought it last year. The person buying food or gari or rice at the store still bought it with 1,000% increase in inflation, thanks to the genius of Emiloko. Subsidy is gone. And then we're doing the flat rate for the naira. Anyway, we'll be going back and forth and bouncing off the wall like a tennis ball. Let's get back to the VIP list, very important criminals list of those that attended this Babangida's book launch. The only reason I came on today was that Babangida's book launch. Let's just do a mini monologue on that crap. It is disgusting. But you have not seen disgusting yet to wait until you go through this weekend and go through social media, both X, which is formerly Twitter, and YouTube, and you watch people who want to consider themselves intellectual talk. That's when you will really need the bucket to draw up. You will really, really need to put a bucket by your side because you are going to draw up like somebody who is drunk. Because the poison and the garbage that's going to come out of their mouth will shock you. They're going to tell you Babangida was one of the best leaders you've ever had, that he built the third mainland bridge, that he was this, he was that. You will hear that from your intellectuals. I'm telling you now, I'm warning you now. I'm telling you, just get prepared, get ready. Get ready. This weekend will be interesting as you go around those shows and hear those discussional programs. Let me see if I can remember that third guy from that full show. And somebody once told me that he once went to a school that produced noble Nigerians. I said no, he couldn't be. He couldn't have been an Igbobian. That guy is too. Lies have been mixed. Yeah, Olumide, I'm seeing your comment, but Vera, it's not really news. Lies have been mixed with the truth. I know. That's how they do. Mixed lies, and we are here to counter them. I'm going to post the link for you, Olumide, in case you want to come in and add your own. I just wanted to take a little time, do this monologue and all that stuff so that I don't keep people just waiting without giving them a chance to talk. I'm going to definitely post the link, and then if you want to come in, yeah, you can come in. But I'm still going on and on with this monologue of mine about these fools that gathered, these ruiners of Nigeria that gathered. They gathered at this so-called Babangida's book launch. It is interesting. But you've not seen what is interesting yet. Wait until your intellectuals, those who think they know but don't know nothing, Fools who have letters in front of their names. Wait till they start to analyze this weekend. You will see them. You start seeing them from tonight, tomorrow. They never end. Their story never end. You will see. Let me see if I can remember the other guy's name. Is it I want not remember his name. I know there was one, but there's a guy they call Baba. He's on there. He's tried the old man, shameless old. Nigeria has a lot of shameless old men, though, and those that have destroyed. Before we were born, and we are close to our 60s, Nigeria has been messed up by shameless men. As soon as we start digging informations out and stories about these people, you start to see them for who they are. You understand? You will see that that country has a collection of shameless old men. Speaker Akpabio, there's so many of them. They are everywhere. They are everywhere. They are now on the internet also. I'm trying to remember this guy's name. Oh, why can't I remember? Well, I guess nobody remembers the name of a man. And it's not even his real name. It's a fake name. He's also on that show of the depraved people. We are going to be sending DHL to the owners of Nigeria since they want to call themselves the owners of Nigeria. What DHL stands for is depraved hypocrites and losers. We will be sending them a lot of DHL. We will call them by their name. We will call them by their label. We will not be apologetic about how we describe them. We will describe them in detail. And description is not an abuse if they want to take an offense to it. If they feel they don't like it, they can come here and argue their case. That is after we put them in a straight jacket. But we have to put them in a straight jacket because most of them, they want to call themselves intellectuals, are actually psychos, are sick people who have turned Africa, the land of milk and honey, the land of gold, the land of oil, the land of diamond, the land of silver, into a beggar nation. Only psychos would do that. And these are the people. And they are those who have left their homeland, only turn their homeland to a place they visit, but yet stays in the white man's land and yet continue to defend the madness that is Nigeria. Those are the people we are after. Or those are the people we are coming after. We will call them by their name. So anybody now, from the day we launch, when you grab a microphone and you're in a social public space and lies is what wants to come out of your mouth, as if your name is Fani Kayode, or your name is Reno Mokri, or your name is Onokpasa, or your name is One Man to Mo, or your name is Baba, or your name is what's that other guy's idiot's name? I don't want to go to his finder. If I let Olumide in and people in, they probably tell me, if your name are all these fake name, we will, what did I say? We'll come after you. We will call you what you are. We will call you a fool if we need to. We will call you an hypocrite. We will call you depraved. We will put you in a straitjacket because Nigeria cannot continue like this. The country has to be good. We have to confront the clowns that are among us. That has been our failure. Our failure to we keep giving a microphone and a stage to sick people, and we want to have a great nation. How is that going to be possible? It's like giving a micro, or allowing a child rapist to enter a school, or allowing how would I put it, a madman, people who have escaped asylum. Of course, they will spread poison. They will spread poison among your people, and they will destroy the good that you have. This is who they are, and we are here for them. We will continue to be against them. We will be biased against them. You know, what is the boy's name? I don't even, he covers his face when he goes around from show to show. Maybe Olumide will know his name. Let me see if Olumide is on there. Let Olumide in, because I can't just seems to remember the guy's name. You know. But anyway, this continues to happen. Let me see if hold on. Continue with my monologue. Okay. Yeah. So they all gathered and continue with this the gathering of madmen, the gathering of thieves. The Alibaba and his 40 thieves. They came from all parts of the nation. That's one fact you need to understand also. Nigeria does not have a tribal problem, but they have thieves from every tribe. They have decided that rather than fight each other over the looting, they will come into cooperations, come into a coalition with each other. And these are the men that came together for IBB's book. Nobody had a bad word. There were also billionaires there, people like Otto Eze. He's a nuisance in Igbo land. That's what I heard about him. There were so many people there. There was the Alakijas. There was the Alakija, that lady. She was gifted with all wealth during Babangida's time. Of course, she will come and pay homage to the emperor. There was also Dangote. We still see what Dangote, that one even promised to be giving 2 billion. 2 billion every year until they finish the project of a fake library. They're building libraries, but 15 million children are without schools. This is crazy. Then there was who else was there? They all had good things to say about IBB, but nobody mentioned Delegiwa. Nobody mentioned those boys that were killed at Ejigbo. You see the hypocrisy of the Nigerian elite. Moshood Abiola at least got a date after him. Nobody talked about all the students that were killed during the fight for June 12th. Nobody talked about the pains all these people went through. Yeah, that was enough price for dying for Nigeria. They give you a day. After all, IBB was his dear friend. The billionaires claim IBB made them, including your popular guy, Obi. The IBB made them. They made their millions. They own Nigeria. They made their wealth. It's up to you not to make yours. If you like, you stay online and criticize them all you want. They've made theirs. But the millions they've made today, their children cannot spend in a lawless society, in a land that has no laws, in a land that has impunity, unending impunity. Well, they've been rewarded. They made 16 billion naira for a library. They just announced 16 billion naira for a library project. Very laughable. Nigerian dictators, they want to own libraries. While children, 15 million children are on the streets, no school. This is who we have. And in fact, this IBB book launch is just a total recap of everything that is wrong with Nigeria. And every demon or satanic ruiner was there. Those that should be lined up, and this should have happened to them if it was the same country. The sound you're going to hear now. Yeah, they should have lined them up. Line them up and let them have it like this. Let them have it. You cock it and you deliver it to them. All of them. They're launching a book. This is sad. Well, he will likely receive his flowers and a library name after him. Emilio Kan also made some men also as Lagos governor. He has made those ones rich. They own Lagos. They own it. They collect the money from there. It's their father's property. They are the emperors. But they will soon find out that they are emperors that are dancing naked. We recall the rebuild of the house of our professor, Wole Soyinka, Rice and Agbado professor. That's how Madam Rita loves to call him. And that's what he really is. And he has that white hair on his head that really signifies that Yoruba proverb. Adiye funfun more lagba. I told you Nigeria has no elders. They have no elders, or they have shameless old men. In future, the crooks he made will donate to his library. That's the way the game is played. Even Abacha in his grave is still returning money he stole. I wonder how much these ones that are still alive have in their bank accounts. So you see, where exactly is the scheme of things as Nigeria is? Your reward is poverty, hunger, unemployment, disease, homelessness, and to japa from your father's land. Any man or woman or generation of people whose point of success is to leave their father's land, they have already become a failure. Even if they think they're making it in the diaspora or abroad, they just don't know it yet. And that's why I go very mad with shameless old men like that Baba, like that, or any one of them. I'll try and figure out their name. I'll be back on their case. But I don't want to waste too much time on depraved people. I rather I rather let them and the hypocrite face each other so we can have time to talk on how to save that country. I don't have time for people like that. I can only take one positive thing from the meeting. Somebody wrote, he took responsibility by admitting for the first time that his friend Abiola won June 12 election. Sadly again and deliberately, not for forgetfulness, Humphrey Nwosu, the electoral umpire during June 12, who was brave to announce most of the results against military directive, wasn't mentioned. Folks like Humphrey Nwosu doesn't fit the Nigerian optics. He was a gatecrasher to the uncommon destiny. He lived in a wrong country among unclean people. He became part of the collateral damage, an unsung hero. As IBB admitted to Abiola's victory 33 years after, I look forward to the day the dark professor Mahmoud would develop the manhood to confess openly to Peter Obi that he rigged the 2023 election to favor the Chicago drug baron. Once again, that even if the devil appears physically in Nigeria, he would receive massive supporters. That is the tragedy of our story. And that is what we set this up to fight against these devils, these fools. You know, Nigeria is the seat of evil. It is a crime scene. It is not habitable for human beings. Living in Nigeria for far too long is capable of turning a saint to a devil. There's no lie in that. I am yet to see an African country where evil is celebrated and bad character rewarded, such as Nigeria, by Nigerians. It is only one country I can tell you for sure that it cannot be redeemed. Let me repeat that. It is one country I can tell you for sure that it cannot be redeemed. A country populated by religious maggots who spend billions of naira to visit Mecca and Israel and yet return to Nigeria as agents of Satan to ruin their own people. Even Hitler did not destroy his own people that much. IBB is evil, but those who came after him were undiluted devils. This was copied from someone, and I just read it out. But it is the truth. It was far better than the monologue I had prepared myself. You see, when events like that are happening, it is far important that we come out and talk, even though we have not launched. We have not launched yet. We're still going to launch on March 1st. On March 1st, please help us share, help us tell people. We will start the movement radio in full. Our first guest, by God's grace, will be both Dele Farotimi. We've not confirmed the time yet, and Mayegun Omobadero of the Mayegun Diary Political. If we can get those two guests, that will launch us, and we will be far flying. We're bringing great things to you, great programmings, great programs. Our plan is to plant the seed and watch them grow. We want to turn sheep to lion. We want Nigerians to be able to fight back, not fight back, but have the mental capacity to break the chains of enslavement. That's what our mission is. That's why we will be here. We will talk. We will attack those that we feel are the enemy. We will insult them. We are not going to be apologetical about the way we throw out words. We will describe them for who they are. We will call them ruiners. We will not respect any old man, old man or woman who has destroyed our hegemony, who has destroyed our collective strength as Black people. You see, the enemy outside is a Yoruba proverb, cannot touch you if the ones inside are not working with them. We problem with we Nigerians is that we pretend not to know our enemies, or we call them friends. We called, oh, that's the boy's name, Kulata. Thank you, Bori. That's the one I was trying to remember. I just, Kulata, that's the one. Yeah, wear masks everywhere to go through life. These are the kind of people we want to go after. People like Baba, let them hear it. Whoever hears this thing, people like Baba, people like that man with that rotten teeth, one man to mow. I call him one fool to mow. People like Kulata, yes, that's the name I was trying to remember, not a real name, because they are not men of honor. They are not men of value. They're not men of dignity, so they don't have real names. We come in after them. And it is important in this stage of our moral crisis, we watch who will give the microphone to, who will build a stage for, who stands on the stage or on the pulpit and preach to our people. That's why the country is in a total moral decadence, complete moral decadence, because mad people are on stage and we are clapping for their performance. We are clapping. Let me like that. Yeah, that's what we do. Yeah, we clap. Thank you, Bori. Ukulata, that's his name. Complete assholes, no moral compass, nothing. They live in the white man. If Nigeria was that good, pack your loads and go back and live at home. Stop using your people as resources. Stop sending generations yet unborn into slavery, into bondage. Call evil evil. Today is for the depraved. Today, I just want to talk about the depraved. A day will come when I will talk about the hypocrites among us also, because the hypocrites and the depraved are two sides of the coin, and they are the ones that won't let you get to the issues that matter, issues that would solve the problem of that country, issues that will save that country, because you're busy. It's done on purpose. They want to distract you. They are propagandists. But for someone to be paid to put his own family, his own children, his own grandchildren in the state they have put Nigeria, it shows how wicked that soul is. So Kulata, if you're hearing me, Baba, if you're hearing me, one man Mutomo, if you're hearing me, this message is for you and your cheerleaders. Oh, there are some cheerleaders, they have cheerleaders. There's some two Igbo girls that go there to cheer. All they do is say, Indewo on the comment chat. They are cheerleaders. The funny thing is that the people they are cheerleading are preaching bigotry against their own people. Well, I wouldn't blame them. They never had a rooted connection with their people, other than the fact that they can speak the language. They never grew up among their people, so they would know who the enemy is. Because somebody preaching bigotry against your people, and now you're there as a cheerleader. The name also wants to sound like cheerleader. They're quick to tell you they are doctors. Oh, they are doctors, but they're giving wrong medical advice and giving false numbers out about people who have HIV in Nigeria. They are doctors and their children are in medical school. Very quick to tell you that. Those are the cheerleaders. I even forgot those ones because those ones are not even worth mentioning. But let's mention those three. The one that calls himself Baba. I don't know his real name. When I know it, I will blast it. They are hearing me in Nigeria, hearing me in England, hearing me in Germany, hearing me in America. We will put a label on the devils that are among us. The same bigotry they're preaching is what destroyed Rwanda, the Rwandan genocide. And the very people who preach bigotry against your people are the ones that I don't even know what to call, we'll talk about those ones, cheerleaders. Man, we've not started. We will use the truth as a weapon for decorum. Watch us. Watch us. Thank you, Bori. You gave me a good. That's the name I was trying to remember because I don't memorize the devil's name. Calls them bad. They are every day come out there. How much are they paying you? The same way they collected money from USID to kill all those villagers. 3 times within the last 3 months or 6 months, the Nigerian Air Force has dropped bombs on innocent civilians. And they will come to the media and say it's a mistake. And educated Nigerians will sit on social media and be analyzing, diagnosing, speaking yeye grammar on the devilish things that is going on. Only country that has internally displaced people, and we are not at war, going to the millions. Some people cannot even go back to their village. Politicians are busy stealing money meant for security vote. Today is for the Kulatas, the Baba, and I will still come back to them. One day will come when I will tackle some other ones who like to speak Oyibo, think they have brain. I beg you. Anybody want come in, they feel come in, they make I check whether anybody was there. But I wanted to do this dialogue. I had an initial prologue before to speak on. I wanted to also talk about denial. I have things I jotted down that a lot of things I want to talk about. But I don't want to be the only one talking. I think I've been talking for almost 10 minutes now, probably 20. Yes. Thank you, Bori. I really appreciate that. You really gave me that information I needed. And Olumide and Omoye. Yeah, nobody is coming to fix that place for us. It's only us. And we can't fix it if we don't get rid of the clowns that are among us, if we don't confront them, the bullies among us. Now they're passing it from their father to their children to continue the bullying. They've been bullying us way before we were born. They destroyed such a great nation, a very great nation. Let me see if anybody is there. You know, we will continue to talk. Nigeria has Pafuka. Yeah, thank you, Jari. You are backstage. Yeah, thank you, Nigeria has Pafuka. Let me see if I can get you in. I see that you're backstage. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I still got a lot to say. There's a lot that I jotted down for my monologue. We don't do news here because there's only headlines and bottom lines. Everything in between is bullshit, and they know it. They know it. They know it. Everything in between is BS. There's no news. So we have set this up to begin to change minds. To begin to change mind. You know? Yeah, let me see if I can get that person that was in back into the thing. But I continue with my monologue. Somebody also, while responding to the issue of Nigeria, you will watch men of letters tell you that you didn't see what you saw. That's the game they now play. That's the story of Nigeria now. Men of letters, men in a normal society that will be castigated out of the mainstream are now getting bolder and bolder. They will tell you, you didn't see the election rig. Do you have evidence? You didn't see people being bombed. You didn't see terrorists killing people. You didn't see people being kidnapped. All these things are not happening. Like they told you, there was a 24% inflation lowering. All are lies. Nobody runs a government on lies. Nobody. Nobody. You know, no government does that, but these ones, they want to do that. That's their modus operandi. Let me post the link again, so in case anybody also wants to join while I figure out how to get him in. Okay. Ohio, thank you for coming. I see you there, my brother. I see you. I see you, my brother. We have to face the clowns among us. The mere fact that the castle has been taken over by clowns doesn't make them kings. It's when we all keep quiet. It's when we keep quiet. We have to call them clowns. We have to put them to shame. We have to be brave enough. Let those who are dealing with the likes of them Tinubu, them Wiki, and all deal with them. But let us deal with ourselves. Let us give ourselves sense. That's the first. Let us get rid of the cheerleaders among us. You understand? We have to deal with ourselves first. That is the first thing. You go on Twitter, you go on the internet, you watch the level of conversation that the so-called intellectuals are discussing is so sickening for a country with that magnitude of problem. As if God has not given us the skill, the will to solve our problem. We have to wait. We have to contract it out. They will think for us. They will feed us. We are surrounded by morons, idiots, and they have the audacity. They have the audacity to tell you not to call them that. With the results we are seeing, a country so blessed, richly blessed by the Almighty, and like bees in the sky, we work so hard. It's a shame. It's indeed a terrible shame, a disaster of a thing. A disaster of a thing. That's what it is. I'm going to paste the link in case anybody who's there who wants to chime in on this conversation. But let me warn you, we don't tolerate nonsense around here. We're very biased towards insanity, stupid argument, silly talk that continue to put the black man in perpetual nonsense. We are just, we're practicing for when we're going to do our full launch on March 1st. It's going to be March 1st for freedom. Still have more to say. Let me take a little break, and then I will continue in a minute, and then continue with my monologue. We have a phone number, we have a website, we have a link. That's our website showing. Go there. You listen to good music, you listen to only positive talk, not negativity, things that would change society. You have a country that is gone. It's gone to the dogs. We have people claim they are educated, morons everywhere, fools. Yeah. Let me take a few minute break, and then I'll continue. Yes. This is what we're talking about. This is what we've been talking about. Okay.
Eh, yeah. Oh my vibe on your oh my trust on your him no make you happy. No. Him no make you feel like I do. They both turning my way. Yeah. I can feel you warming up to me. Oh, think I got a shot like a free throw. Read up in the game with no cheat code. Girl, you took my heart like a repo. Oh, all these other girls not even close. Something's telling me that she knows. Oh, stuck in my mind, things I would do for you. Stuck in my mind, long nights thinking of you. Stuck in my mind. Oh my God, stuck in my mind. Oh my trust on your mind. Did not see you last week. Told me you would make it up to me. Just wanted you closer, closer. Electric feel when you brush up on me. Oh, think I got a shot like a free throw. Read up in the game with no cheat code. Girl, you took my heart like a repo. All these other girls not even close. Something's telling me that she knows. Oh, stuck in my mind, things I would do for you. Stuck in my mind, long nights thinking of you. Stuck in my mind. Oh my God, stuck in my mind. Oh my trust on your mind. Stuck in my mind, things I would do for you. Stuck in my mind, long nights thinking of you. Stuck in my mind. Oh my God, stuck in my mind. Oh my trust on your mind. Oh my vibe on your mind. Oh my trust on your mind. Oh my vibe on your mind. Oh my trust on your mind. Eh. but do my shima. I'ma get be my shima. I don't put my weight in my. Say make a liver, I'm a waiting, oh, banana winner. Wait fit on man to sinner. Oh baby, pull up in my bima. You know promise and in a wait, oh no. Ooh, people, when I relate, oh, I said the do just take baby. I'm a you late, oh, I say wait people, when say we late, oh, I said the do just take baby. When I be better, I got to love for me, I got to love. Chad Malin ain't no ghost writer. How I they give them better lamba? Pull my weight, ain't no boss tighter. Oluwa too much, oh. Oluwa too much, oh. Man just they ask why you still love on me. Baba you too much, oh. Man still they ask why you too love. Ooh, people, when I relate, oh. I saw the do just take baby. I'm a you late, oh. I say wait people, when say we late, oh. I saw the do just take baby. When I be better, I got to love for me, I got to love. But do my shima, I'ma get be my shima. I don't put my weight in my. Say make a liver, I'm a waiting, oh, banana winner. Wait fit on man to sinner.
Yes. Well, the last thing I want to talk about is the last thing I want to talk about before I go. I think I've been talking for almost 30 minutes. I want to take a rest, but I want to say this is that if you notice one thing about Nigerians is that on a daily basis, it seems like our lack for empathy for others, that our brothers and sisters, is growing every day. We don't have empathy for each other. We just watch each other go from one dilapidated state to another. Yeah, a Nigerian would typically an educated Nigerian typically believe that you're on your own. Your life is between you and your God, and he ain't got nothing to do with them, with me, with the rich man. It's your life. It's your destiny. That if you're born in that hell, you'll fight out that hell, and if they fight their own hell and make it, well, that's good for them. Well, if you fought yours and you didn't make it, that's good for you. But there might be some element of truth in that statement, but it's a fallacy, because society don't exist on selfish or individual pursuit. It exists on collective and communal pursuit. You can say, okay, well, it's between you and your God. And with the Nigerian situation, the concept of God just walks in perfectly and then dabaru everything, just make everything even worse. I got these ideas when I was talking to some of my friends, and particularly the ones that are in Nigeria, that live here, but when they go to Nigeria, they visit and they go do their dirty December or whatever it is, they go for their Owambe party. The first thing that comes out of their mouth is that, Nigeria is sweet, oh, and then they would add, but if you have money. And then I would shake my head. Nigeria is sweet, oh, but if you have money and you're one rich man among a million poor people, on the average, you're still poor. But our brain don't pick things up like that. It's just, at least me, I get dollars to spend. And if it don't matter, how will you get this money? Nigerians don't think about how you get their money, or just get the money anyhow, even if you have to steal the entire nation, make millionaires of people. That's what the Babangidas did. That's what the from the beginning they've been doing. The likes of Gowon are also who didn't do that will probably have their little regret. But after Babangida and all the bigger devils that came after him, that's the way. The Oshobas, I can go on and on. Anybody that's been governor, that's been president, that's been minister, it's just still, I mean, there's a legal code. As long as you belong to the boys club, you're covered. You see, thoughts like this is what has destroyed our country and brought us to our knees. We're not real, they're not real, they're not right, and they're not true. Life, if you look at life generally, it's communal. If you have a serial killer or a devilish person among you, and the person just keep killing left and right, it's the responsibility of the community to put that person in check, so that the rest of the community will be able to move and live and move on. You know, and that is part of the Nigerian psychic, and that is what has gotten us to this stage, is that religion now came in and then bastardize everything and be like, oh, even if you steal to make it, if you make it, it's God will. If you don't make it, it's your destiny. Mentalities like this is what has destroyed us. And these same people who bring now John Tapo's religion is into it, they don't remember that their religion tells them it's not by bread alone, no, that they should love their neighbor as themselves, oh, and that whatever they do to the least of their brother, they are doing it to their God. They don't remember all this when they are doing it. They just remember that, me, I don't make I be big man now, I be rich man. One of these days, when I do another one of my monologue, I will talk about the dangers of this big manism and compare it to apartheid. You know, the dangers of this being a big man. So at least me, I make I be big man. You know, that is the mentality my people have, and that is what has further destroyed the society, destroyed it so badly, and put it in the situation that we are in today. The suffering is hard. That's why we're talking. People are really suffering. The world doesn't know our pain. A lot of people are in real bad states. It's not funny. It's not good. It's really tragic, to put it mildly. It's really tragic for the people concerned. And that's why some of us want to do something about it. We start talking, we start making issues of all these things. You know, particularly as Black people, we are naturally blessed by God. Our land, it has every mineral you can think of in the world, but yet we are the poorest people on earth. That's because since colonization and slavery, colonization, our people has been retrained to more or less hate themselves. And that has been the story of our people. It's been real bad. When I was listening to one of the other talk show, Somebody was going around saying that but before I even say that, first of all, we have a burden to do better, to be better than what we are, to leave this world better than we left it. The story in Nigeria is the total opposite. You know, what we do is we tolerate each other, we fight, we bicker, we lie to our children, we we focus on inanimate objects, few things. You know, our state right now is totally terribly unacceptable. You know, we have to give hope to the people, at least to the future generation. We have to give them hope. That's what we are here to do. We will have labels, names, description, and addresses to those elites among us. We will DHL them as depraved hypocrites and losers. We will DHL them. Yes, those are the elite. That's why we're here. That they can stand down in being an obstacle to the progress of our people. We really want them to stand down. They've been an obstacle for way too long, way before we were born. Every singer has put it in songs. Fela for the past 50 years, Majek Fashek, so long, too long. It's been so long, too long. You know, even in our generation now, the likes of Dele are talking, the likes of Showore, the likes, people are talking, but they're not being heard. Because among them, we have brothers and sisters who are obstacle to the progress that the black man can make. These are the ones we intend to take care of. This Babangida thing is really infuriating me. Come on here today. He said he apologized or whatever word he used. If that man, people like that man are not punished, people like Babangida, people like Obasanjo, people like Gowon, all the people that have destroyed that country, people like Goodluck, all the governors, if they are not punished, I just have to laugh. We have to punish those people to give hope to the future generation. Because if those people just escape and get away with it, it's going to be terrible in future for Africans, for Nigerians. Somebody in one of those talk shows was saying, hey, we don't punish people. That's a lie. I have never seen a society punish people in a crude, medieval, wicked, ungodly, evil manner than our society. It's not even bad. The way we punish is satanic, is sadistic in manner that we punish. But the only problem is that we only punish the poor. We only punish the poor, the weak. If you're rich and you have money, you don't get no punishment. You can get away with murder, literally, if you're a big man. But if you're a common man, you will get the kind of satanic, medieval, crude, ungodly, sadistic punishment in that country that you will even wonder. A good example was the case of the young man that was sentenced to death because they claim he stole chicken. I think he spent close to 20 something years or 16 years in jail before somebody finally got his story out. What we have to do is we have to shine light on the darkness that has enveloped us. We have to use technology, which is what I'm doing in my role. We have to take our cell phone. We have to record every event. We have to make it public. You have to shine light to evil. Those that gathered for that terrible Babangida book launching, they're all the same. Babangida, Tinubu, Gowon, Shagari is gone. He wasn't there. Or whoever was there, they're lucky jazz. So all those that made money too back, they're all the same. And that's why it's important you don't die in their war. They have a few squambles once in a while when they call it of the political party, APC, PDP, LP, a few, I call it squambles among themselves, but they are all the same. It's just like in that storybook, Animal Farm. And the animals looked at the pig, then they look at the man, they look at the pig, and they couldn't tell which is which anymore, you know? And that's another thing. We'll be doing a lot of reading. We're going to find high schools where we're going to have readers. They're going to read books that are relevant to our history and story. Things like books like Things Fall Apart, The Fatherless Children. We would have high schoolers reading it when we have our programs well highlighted. Just wanted to do this monologue today because of that troubling Babangida book launch. For anyone who sees Babangida as an hero, that person needs to have their head examined. That person needs to see a psychiatric doctor. Anyone who sees Tinubu as a hero, that person needs medical help. Anybody who sees Buhari as a leader, they need help. Anybody who sees Atiku, every one of them, you need help. And we might just be the recipe you need. Nigeria, you see all of them all gathered there today from every tribe. Tells you we don't have a tribal problem. Your problem is not the Fulanis. Your problem is not the Hausas. Your problem is not the Igbos. Your problem is not the Hausas or the Benis or the Edos or the Shekiris or the Calabaris. Those are not your problem. Your problem is you. We have no tribal problem, but we have thieves from every tribe. From every tribe. That is our problem. And we're producing men that are weak, strange men. Men, they are very weak, weak morally, they're weak, they are mentally bankrupt, they're spiritually empty, they're vacuous spirituality. Those are the kind of men our society has produced now. And those kind of empty vessels be demanding respect. They demand respect. Respect for what? For a failure. All those that gathered there today were nothing but failures. They are the people fella will call people. People. I'm telling you, you've not seen anything yet. Wait until this weekend runs through and go through all the social media and watch your men of letters debate and argue and analyze the events of this week. From the female senator screaming and Akpabio misbehaving, to Babangida's book launch, to the security issue with USAID. You watch them talk. I'm telling you, be prepared, get your bucket, you will throw up. Because nothing good is coming from them. You saw them all clapping today as they were launching Babangida School. They were all clapping and laughing at the atrocities they collectively and individually committed against Nigeria and as a country and against Nigerians as a people. That's what they were clapping for. And that's what they were laughing for. I want to say this one more time. You see all those that gathered today at that IBB book launch, and they are clapping and laughing. They are clapping and laughing at the atrocities they collectively and individually committed against Nigeria and against the Nigerian people, the crimes against humanity that they've committed. Those men must be punished. If they go to their maker not being punished, it will leave a bad precedent for the future generations to come. They've committed so much evil, so much crime. What gathered today is nothing but Nigeria's problem. That's all I want to say today. It's nothing but Nigeria's problem. And then you see on the news, the Nigerian media, people with little knowledge parading themselves as honorables. It is sad. We hope you join us next time when we have more longer time to speak as we prepare for our launch. It's the countdown now for us. We have like about 7 more days before we launch this radio in full. We just come here to make one or two monologue in preparation for the launch. We're trying to bring in our guests. We would have possibly Dele Farontimi as our first guest and Mayegun Omobadero as our guest on this movement radio. We would, on that day, we would read out the objective of the movement radio, our purpose, and why we're launching. And we just wanted to come out today to say a few things about the events of this week. And we hope you have enjoyed listening to us. And if you are offended, please be offended. That means you're not a good person. And if you're not, that means you understand the situation we are in. Nigeria cannot continue like this. We have to act, you know. So hopefully we would see you the next time we come on here. Right now, it's almost I plan to just be here for just 2 hours and talk only for 30 minutes. I think I talked for almost an hour and I played music a little bit. And so that's 2 hours. My 2 hours is up. And I thank you all for listening.